What's up everyone, how's it going? This is Watch, hope you guys are all doing well. And for the past year, I've been reviewing a lot of ultra high definition monitors from all of the big manufacturers. And one of my favorite type of UHD monitor definitely has to be the large format one. I think in order to take advantage of all those pixels and that high resolution, you definitely want a large screen that will accommodate everything without having to deal with any of the DPI scalings you have with Windows. And currently when it comes to value, you can get a great deal for a 40-inch display, whether that be a TV or a dedicated monitor. We actually just recently did a review of the AMH A399U, so definitely check out that review video if you haven't already. But in this video, we'll be specifically comparing that 4K display with the 34UM95 from LG. This is the 21:9 Quad HD monitor that a lot of people are really liking for some of the same reasons we liked the 40-inch 4K displays that you can get out there. So what I want to do is actually do a comparison between the two and determine which one is better for gaming, for desktop real estate, as well as value. So if you're interested in this video, let's get right into it. Now in terms of size, both of these displays are fairly large. The AMH measures about 39.5 inch. It's a 16:9 aspect ratio, very standard in terms of most monitors out there. The 34UM95 measures, of course, 34 inches. It obviously has a little bit more unique shape. It's 21:9, so it's an ultra wide screen, perfect for watching 2:3:5 aspect ratio films and CinemaScope. So it's excellent for some media consumption. Although if you do want to watch regular HD content in full screen, you will have to deal with bars on the left and right side of the display. Another nice thing about both displays is both are wall mountable, so you have a 100mm VESA mount connection on the LG and a 200mm VESA mount connection on the A399U. In terms of connectivity, the one reason I really like the A399U is the fact that it has HDMI 2.0 as well as a DisplayPort 1.2 connection, so you can easily do that full 4K resolution at 60Hz refresh rate, and you don't necessarily need a graphics card that has HDMI 2.0 to do that. You can just use any GPU that has DisplayPort built in. So that's great in terms of compatibility. On the other hand, alongside HDMI and DisplayPort connectivity, the 34UM95 has native Thunderbolt connectivity options, so you can easily connect this to a MacBook Pro or even a Mac Pro and use this display as a macOS 10 monitor without having to deal with any adapters, which is excellent. You also additionally have a USB 2.0 and 3.0 hub, which is unfortunately not available on the A399U. Now in terms of the native resolution, obviously we have 3840 by 2160 versus 3440 by 1440. So in terms of the sheer resolution, our A399U wins it. In terms of pixel density, it's also slightly higher at about 111 ppi versus about 109 pixels per inch on the 34UM95. So there's not too much of a difference when it comes to pixel density, but in terms of the sheer number of pixels and desktop real estate, you are definitely going to have more information both vertically and horizontally on the A399U compared to the UM95. Now that being said, I still think the ultra wide aspect ratio is still pretty good for people that are designing workstation PCs where they want a lot of information being displayed horizontally. Vertically, you still have a lot of resolution. 1440 is still plenty of pixels when it comes to the vertical aspect of things. But again, if you do want more information displayed, you are going to probably gravitate towards a full 4K display rather than a Quad HD extended display. Now let's talk about the viewing experience and overall image quality of both these two monitors. Now the A399U was probably originally a television that was transformed into a monitor, and they basically connected a DisplayPort 1.2 connection. And even though it can do that full 4K resolution at 60Hz, there's still some TV-like elements in it. Firstly, you'll notice that there's a little bit of shadowing between the display and the edge itself. It's not that big of a deal when you're actually just browsing around Windows, but when you do view something that's completely white, you will notice that apparent shadowing. Additionally, the backlight is not the best. There's a little bit of hot spots here and there, and it's not as evenly lit as the LG. The LG UM95 is actually using a IPS display, so it's very consistent in terms of its panel profile. Very little hot spots, and the backlight is very even as well. The black levels are great on both monitors since they're using LED backlit technology, and they're both excellent in terms of viewing angles from the left and right sides, with the exception that the LG is quite a lot better when viewing the monitor at different vertical heights. So if you're going to wall mount any of these and have it kind of above your head or below your head, you will notice that the LG is a little bit more consistent when it comes to the viewing angles because it's using an IPS panel. Now, in terms of the response time and input lag, you're looking at about 5 milliseconds on both of the two displays, which is fairly passable for monitors at this high resolution. And gaming on the UM95 is a fairly unique experience. You get a very cool perspective on all your games, and it's kind of like having a triple 1080p display and all in one, so you get that kind of peripheral vision going on, and it's definitely an awesome experience. Plus, since it's a quad HD resolution, it won't completely destroy your FPS rate like a 4K monitor will, especially if you have a moderately powerful graphics card. Now, on a 4K monitor, sure, you're definitely going to get the more expansive resolution as well as that larger screen on the A399U, which is definitely awesome for playing a lot of different titles out there. But of course, alongside that, you're going to need either a single very powerful graphics card or multiple graphics cards in order to power that crazy resolution at fairly high detail rates. But generally speaking, it's going to be up to you which format you like better. Certainly, the A399U definitely gives you an excellent perspective on your games at a large scale, but you get a completely new point of view when you're gaming on the 34UM95. It just depends on what kind of perspective you want to take and what kind of games you probably play as well. But in terms of the value aspect of things, now generally prices fluctuate depending upon when you're watching this video, but currently right now you can get the AMH A399U for under $550 USD, and the 34UM95 from LG retails somewhere around the $700 mark, sometimes a little bit lower, sometimes a little bit higher. And there are a couple of versions of this LG monitor. You can get the curved version, and you can get a version that does not have the Thunderbolt connections. But if you're solely interested in the ratio between the price versus the pixel count, certainly the AMH wins in that category. You are getting more pixels for your money, but keep in mind that the LG is a little bit better panel. It's an IPS panel. It's a little bit more consistent in terms of its color composition and backlight performance, and generally speaking, it's a completely new type of monitor that will give you a completely new perspective on your computing experience. So, but if you want more information about everything we talked about, definitely check out the description down below, and let me know what you guys think of both these two monitors. Which one would you actually get if you were in the market for a high resolution large screen display for your computer? But really, other than that, that's really it. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you later. Take care.